Notre Dame continues its winning ways as they capsize Navy to get its seventh straight victory.
By Samosa, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal.
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, 5 rocket touchdown!
Notre Dame is number one.
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that isn't going to be Notre Dame.
Hello again, everybody. Landon Trailer, along with Dylan Kearns, Logan, and JR could not be with us today. However, they both will be with us on Wednesday because it is a huge matchup coming up on Wednesday. But we got some business, or matchup coming up next Saturday, but we got some business to take care of before we get into any of the Pittsburgh game. The Irish win 49-10 in a rainy, snowy, cold Notre Dame stadium, Dylan.
Yeah, that was a very aesthetic game. I think that's the word nowadays that they use to describe. You know, it's a cool setting, but I mean, in the comfort of my home, it's easier to say.
You look comfy.
Yeah, I saw the pictures that your mom put up. You look frozen out there. So it looked like you were layered, and everyone else in the stadium looked like it was cold, wet, sloppy.
Yeah.
But you know, from a fan at home's point of view, it was just beautiful scenery football. And you're playing the Naval Academy, who plays this old school kind of ground and pound game. And the Irish, of course, have their talented backs, and they kind of use that run game to their advantage as well. Only threw the ball 16 times. So you know, this is a very good. A very good win for the Irish in a rivalry game, sloppy conditions at home, finding a way to go in and take care of business.
Right. I mean, Navy was playing in the same conditions we were. Let's not forget that. And they had their struggles. It's the 8th straight win for Notre Dame over Navy, and the 3rd straight year against Navy where the Irish have put up over 42 points. So that's 3 straight years over 42 points against the Midshipmen. CJ Carr, as you mentioned, Dylan was 13 of 16, 3 touchdowns, 218 yards. And then Jeremiah Love, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns, 48-yard touchdown run when he got tackled. He literally rolled over the guy and refused to give up. That is what we love to see. Play to the whistle, Dylan Kearns.
Yeah, and you know, that's it. It kind of gave me the flashbacks that everyone's seen in that Penn State run that he had in the playoff on
For sure.
Random's like the guy just doesn't go down. And you know, I was sitting there and I'm thinking, you know, this kid just continues to show effort. And I thought, you know, when he got off and took off all the way down the sideline, I'm like, there's no way he actually wasn't.
Yeah.
Down. Like everyone else gave up on the play, but this kid's just special. Every single week you see something bigger and better and stronger than he did the week before. And you're like, gosh, how much more is in that tank? I don't know, but we've been definitely soaking in exactly what he's brought to this program. But yeah, 94 on the ground. He had the big burst on that run. I mean, outside of that, you got to give your hat or tip your hat to Navy. They bottled him up.
They loaded the box a lot.
They did.
Yeah, that was their game plan. You knew what their game plan was going to be defensively, and they did it. And they said, "Here, go beat us."
Right. They have a pretty good run defense to begin with as well.
Yeah, go beat us. So Jadarian Price with 47 yards and a touchdown, obviously, you know, living behind Jeremiah Love in this game. And then Malachi Fields with 97 receiving yards. Loved to see him get involved early as well. He had a deep bomb there from CJ Carr. KK Smith with 39 receiving yards. Will Pauling, 29 yards. And then, of course, Jordan Faison, 27 yards. Dylan, the receiving court was on one the other night. It was special to see. Very cool to see them all get involved, you know, especially Malachi Fields. And then I thought Will Pauling did a hell of a job late as well.
Yeah, it's really just spreading the wealth. That's, you know, something that you can keep teams off balance when you do that. Like, it's not Notre Dame for the longest time has not had just one consistent player on the outside that they have peppered consistently. Like, it's always been spread it around and see who's open and, you know, capitalize on matchups and go to those weapons when you need to. And we saw Malachi, big catch down the field, as you mentioned, and then you see KK Smith getting involved. And Faison's always just consistent.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get across the middle, third down. You got to find him, just something like that. So very impressed with this core. I thought they did really well. Again, sloppy conditions, so harder to
Mhm.
catch the ball, cold, hard football, and it was wet as well. So they still found ways to make plays and get open, and I thought they looked fantastic.
Absolutely. And then at garbage time, Kenny Minchie was 3 for 3, 35 yards. And then it was so good to see Aeneas Williams get back in the mix of things. You know, you talk about Jeremiah Love, you talk about Jadarian Price. Dylan, the third string running back, is a hell of a running back because I love this kid and he showed good stuff. On Saturday night, 72 yards, including a 54-yard touchdown where he just bullied his way across the line and then it was gone. He is so fast, has speed, has strength. He could be something special once the two greats go away, if you will, there, Dylan.
Yeah, Aeneas. Here's the thing with him, like true freshman last year,
Mm-hmm.
and you have Marcus trusting him in playoff games and pass blocking situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what you have. You have Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. He's got the freshman in there in the playoffs and not only getting carries, but, pass blocking. That's a lot of pressure for a freshman on a big stage against SEC bullies. I think it was Georgia where he picked up a run or a pass block
Mm-hmm.
that set up a big throw by Riley Leonard in that game. And he just walked right up to the linebacker, hit him hard, and went back to the sideline, got his Gatorade. This guy is a fantastic running back, and it was good to see him because he's been battling some injuries throughout this year, and he was absolutely given a chance for one drive, and he made the most of it out there. I even shot a text to the group chat. I said, "Welcome back, A-Dub." He went out there and ran everywhere.
Yeah, didn't see that one as I was frozen. Couldn't really get my phone out of the game. For Navy, let's talk about the midshipmen because they were without their starting quarterback, Blake Horvath. Braxton Woodson got the start. He was 3 for 8 with 22 yards. He did have 101 rushing yards and a touchdown, but that's how Navy does. They're going to give it to their quarterback. Nothing to be concerned about there, in my personal opinion. That's what Navy does. It wasn't one big play. It was a couple now and then, but it was grind, grind, grind. For the most part, we did a hell of a job containing him. They had one good drive, and that's it. And that's when they drove down to score the touchdown. And we forced 5 tackles for loss, Dylan.
Yeah, just getting in the backfield, blowing it up, just bringing. I every single week I see Chris Ash. They show him all the time on the sideline, just walking and walking. And in me, it's trained in me since August. You MFer. I'm yelling
Yeah.
at the TV, but I'm like, you know what? He's got his kids playing hard now, and he's made some adjustments. We think it might be Marcus, but I mean, this unit's starting to play better, and it's hard to point fingers and be mad when they're making plays and they're in the right spots and they're intelligent. Like, those are some big, like, it's so hard to beat a Navy team because it requires great tackling, like
Patience.
structure.
Exactly. Yep.
You can't, like, it's not these quick athletes that are going to put a toe in the ground and just
Right.
blow right by you. Like,
Mhm.
they're strong physical guys, and you get in the backfield. It's great that you're actually able to make that tackle, and you're not bouncing off of them before they could just power forward for more yards. So, very impressed with the way this defense has been flying to the ball carrier.
100%. I'll get to that in a minute. But I think something Logan and JR would appreciate here, no penalties, no turnovers, and we were 7 for 7 on extra points in those conditions. Very much improved in the kicking game. I would have loved to see a field goal actually in those conditions, though, like a not just an extra point, but an actual field goal. Would have been pretty fun to watch. Might have every time he made the extra point, the crowd would go nuts, and I'm not even kidding. It was kind of sad to hear. But nonetheless, 7 for 7 of the extra point, no turnovers, Dylan, and no stupid penalties that we've had for the last, I feel like 50 weeks that we've had a stupid penalty in every game.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to this. We played Navy's game of being disciplined, and there were not many flags on either side of the ball because Navy, they just historically, they're not going to budge.
They had about 5, I believe, and it's very uncharacteristic. They had some false
Right.
starts, procedure penalties, pass interference. They played very out of character for penalty wise.
They're usually a very clean team. But for Notre Dame, this is one of those wins. And I mean, the season really could go either way after this.
Yeah.
I think this win, like, you could look at your guys and say, look, obviously this is a 7-2 team or 7-1 team you just beat. Now they're 7-2, but you could say you guys took care of them. You were smart, like you weren't stupid in any situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, all right, how are we going to build on that? Let's keep this high of us winning that game going throughout the course of the year because they need to. Because this can't be one of those games where you're like, oh yeah, we're good, we're back, and then you snooze a little bit, and then bam, Pitt puts you on your ass, and
Yeah.
your season's over, and we only got a couple more games of J Love. Like there are two scenarios where things could go here. But it was a great team win again.
Mm-hmm.
Very disciplined, very smart, and just a clean game. It felt clean for the first time in a long time. So that was promising to see.
Right. And obviously it was, I believe it was 7-0 at one point, 14-7, maybe 14-10, something like that. It was close, a little bit early, but that's how Navy is. That is how Navy plays. That is what Navy wants to do. They want to wear you down. They want to slow the game down. I think we had three possessions. We had 2 touchdowns and a punt. So, I mean, and it was almost halftime at that point. So that's what Navy does, man. They take away possessions, and that's why everybody was freaking out. I did see when I got home, because I had to drive home too. Let's not forget. So I was off my phone for a good probably 7 hours. So when I got home, I was able to scroll Twitter at 2 in the morning and just seeing people tweet in the first quarter, "Y'all are in a close game with Navy at home at night." It's the second quarter, and if you look even closer, we've had the ball twice. Navy has had it for 2 times as well, but have controlled the clock. So just I digress. It's obviously our most dominating performance since Arkansas, Dylan, which was good to see because we really needed a performance to where we can go out and we can just dismantle a team and we can get back to what we want to do. I thought, listen, Chris Ash deserves his roses, and I'm going to give him his roses right now. After giving up 30 points to Purdue, this is the numbers: 13, and it was a second half shutout. 7, second half shutout, a 3/4 shutout. 7, second half shutout, a 3/4 shutout. 24, 0 fourth quarter points. 10, 0 fourth quarter points. 10, second half shutout, and a 3/4 shutout for that matter. This guy has turned it around. Whether it's him, like you said, whether it's him or Marcus, I don't care. It's time to give him his roses because what he has been able to do is phenomenal. Because this was a group that was giving up 30 points to Purdue. This was a group that gave up 41 to Texas A&M. And for these numbers, 13, 7, 7, 24, 10, 10, and the way we're doing it is what we expected to see from this group at the beginning of the year, Dylan.
I don't know if I can agree with you.
You got facts don't lie, and the facts are he has gotten this group together and playing a lot better than what they were.
And the facts are he's played a lot of bad teams.
Don't know. I mean, you could. I don't know.
Boston College. I mean, you could throw that out the window. They look solid against Boise State defensively.
I disagree there.
You give up 24 to USC. I know that's a powerful offense, but you're going to face good offenses come the playoffs. And
shut them out in the fourth quarter when it mattered.
Yeah, but
it was a 3-point game entering the third quarter.
Play turnover, like
what my point is here, they're doing their job. They're doing what they need to do to win games. In the beginning of the year, they weren't. And now they are. They are doing what they need to do to win games. And they've done their job. They have done their job to put it on the offense. Logan talks about it all the time. Put your offense in a position to win. Well, Texas A&M, what do? We put our defense in a position to win. Didn't happen. Miami needed the stop. Couldn't get it. Lose on the last second field goal. So what my whole point is, Dylan, is they are playing better. They're putting us in positions to win. And you look at that USC game. USC might damn well sneak into the playoff, by the way.
Yeah. very
Zero,
well.
shut him out in the fourth quarter when it mattered. Shut Boston College out in the fourth quarter when it mattered. Shut Navy out in the second half, and Navy can score the ball. We've seen that. Second half shutout against NC State. Second half shutout against Boise State. 13, a second half shutout against Arkansas. That is all after giving up 27, bad 27, 41, and 30. So I feel that we need to appreciate Chris Ash a little bit more for the job that he's been doing in the middle of a season as well. It's not like it's the next year. I mean, this is week after week, and we're showing improvement week after week, and I love to see it. But we'll digress there again because Navy, I thought, they play in the American. They are still in contention, I believe. Looking at the standings earlier on Sunday morning, they still hold a position to play for the American Championship right now, Dylan. But that is because they still have USF, Memphis, and of course Army on their schedule, left on their schedule. So,
Gauntlet.
yeah, that is a really big gauntlet, tough gauntlet to go through. I thought they played a little conservative. I think if, maybe the circumstances were different, maybe they were out of the American championship contention. Perhaps Coach Newberry starts Horvath, and perhaps he goes for it more than twice in this game instead of punting it. Even when they are at the 50-yard, close to the 50-yard line, I thought he played like he knew. I mean, he knew that he had no chance to beat Notre Dame after a while. I mean, it was 21-7. They weren't moving the ball, and if you get Navy behind 2 touchdowns, you can just kiss it goodbye for Navy. I thought he coached like a coach who knew, hey, it's a big game. It's Notre Dame. While it is against Notre Dame, we still got conference games to play against quality opponents. I'm going to take a step back, and I'm just going to get my guys out here, kind of just throw them out there and get in, get out. Let's go move on to South Florida, Dylan.
Yeah, I could see that. Just I feel bad for whoever that Power Five or that the school that gets in the playoff.
Group of 5, man.
Group of 5. My God.
Sacrifice to the Wolves.
I mean, no one, like last year, you were kind of intrigued. You're like,
Boise.
Genty. Like the nation's best running back. Maybe there is something there, but then they still got killed. But this year, like, you don't have any dog in the fight. Like, whoever gets it, like, it's a good get-right game for them to just get a playoff win and start believing. So whoever gets to play them is going to be feeling pretty good.
Right. Well, you remember last year, Boise got the bye because of the rules.
Yeah.
Now they're probably looking at, I feel they're most likely 100% looking at the 12th seed every time. They're going to have to go to number 5, and that is not going to be pretty. And it's going to create a lot of stir. This is why we need to expand the playoff. Shut up. Respectfully, shut up. But Dylan, any final thoughts as we close the book on Navy? I always like to say that we stayed healthy against the Midshipmen because we've had some season-ending injuries when we've played Navy in the past in this stadium. So it's really good to see us stay healthy, get the subs in early. I loved how Marcus Freeman handled the bench. He got Carr out of there early. He got Love out of there early. Very good to see that. We stayed healthy. We stayed focused all 60 minutes of the game, even in the snow and cold. But we closed the book on Navy. Throw that playbook out until next year because obviously we're not going to see an offense or even defense for that matter like the Midshipmen. Any final thoughts as we close the book and throw away the playbook for a year?
No, not really. I thought, like I said, just wrapping up what we talked about. Actually, you know what? I do want to say something. I thought 13 looked fantastic. I thought CJ Carr really played a good, like, he's been heckled by a few individuals on this show.
Yes, he has.
For his play. But I thought, I know it's Navy, but in the conditions for a freshman quarterback, I thought he made some pretty darn good throws. Stepping up in the pocket, going deep. We mentioned the ball to Malachi. Like, he truly looked comfortable. And he hadn't really looked comfortable in a couple weeks. Like, not that he hasn't, but he just looked a tad off.
Right.
But here against Navy, like I thought our quarterback looked really good, and this was a game that I think he could take a step forward and build off of it because he's got a big game coming up with Pitt. So very excited to see what he could do. But I thought it was a real like when some of the fan base is down on the kid. I thought, okay, he came out and showed up. So I thought he played a fantastic game, but definitely something to monitor. Should he continue to ball out down the stretch, could have. So I still think he's a pretty darn talented quarterback,
Right.
uh, and I think there's still a lot of untapped potential there, and I think he's got a great arm and he throws the ball well.
Just tell JR to eat it. I mean, I
Yeah,
think that's what you want to say right now, so I would say it for you. Listen, Dylan, we got to show consistency next week at Pitt, offensively. I think we've shown consistency on defense. I mean, numbers don't lie. We need to show consistency on offense next week, and that'll kind of hint us into Wednesday's preview. But before we get out of here, let's wrap up college football around the country. We got to start with obviously number 2 Indiana survives at Penn State Happy Valley. Dylan was this close, literally this close from picking the upset of the year on the show. But unfortunately for Dylan, Cooper Jr. got his foot in and toe tapped it. It's a catch on Sundays, by the way, Dylan.
yeah, that was just a phenomenal ending. And it was 20-10, and I felt like pressure when Penn State before they popped that big run. I don't know if you watched it because you were at Notre Dame. Before they popped that big run, I put $10 on Penn State plus 800 to win the football game. So I'm sitting there, and they give me a $70 cash out before Indiana's last drive, and I'm like, you know what? They're like, no, I'll let it ride. And Mendoza, the freaking Heisman winner,
I would have cashed
goes
out.
down.
I trust Sig over an interim any day, man. Anyway,
at home, loud crowd. I was feeling it. I thought I had the upset. I knew Penn State would win all week.
loud crowd. IU took that place over. I rewatched the game. IU took that place over. There were empty seats. It's sad to see what's going on in Happy Valley. Not really. I actually tend to love it. Purdue, they scored the first 3 points against Ohio State, but forgot that they had to play the rest of the game. They lost 34-10. I still think we have yet to see Ohio State's best football. They are hiding in the closet until they play in the Big Ten, until they play Michigan. Let me rephrase that. When they play Michigan, it's all out on the deck. Michigan might be in deep trouble in that game.
Darnell Tate hurt, didn't matter. Jeremiah Smith stepped up, went for 100 and a touchdown.
I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, they rolled Missouri. We might see Coach Drink out of here soon on his own terms. Not fired, but leaving for another job. I think Alabama played a little bit conservative against LSU, only won 20-9. Georgia 41-21 over Mississippi State. Hey, Ole Miss had a tough one against the Citadel. Congrats to Ole Miss playing a November game against the Citadel. BYU gets rolled at Texas A&M. I think everybody and their mother saw this coming, though. Hey, Dylan, tough week for the ACC, my man. Wake Forest beats number 14 Virginia in Virginia. Cal goes into a sold-out Louisville and beats number 15 Louisville 29-26. Oh my gosh, the ACC quite literally flipped upside down on Saturday night, DK.
They did, and here's another thing. You were one play away from the Big Ten being flipped upside down. Oregon was right there against Iowa.
That was my next one.
Right. I mean, that was the case. A big throw by Mendoza. You're looking at a brand new Big Ten as well.
No doubt about it. I mean, you could if Oregon lost and Indiana lost, guess who's right back up in the mix of things?
USC.
Exactly. Trojan man. Would have been big for us.
Right.
Wisconsin knocks off number 23 Washington 13-10. That might be the worst loss of the season. That is pathetic right there for Washington.
Playing for Fickle. They give him the job another year. Let's go.
I guess. And then, of course, Miami bounces back against Syracuse 38-10. Really, all that happened. Let's check the FBS scoreboard. Sorry for the lack of preparation. It's been a wild 24 hours. Tulane knocks out Memphis for the college football playoff. You can kiss Memphis goodbye. Tulane now right back in it. Man, I still think the group of 5 representative goes to James Madison. I don't think you could leave James Madison out with one loss to Louisville. And then Oregon, they beat Iowa 18-16 in a sloppy game. Man, Dylan, I don't know. I still don't know what to make of Oregon.
They're just a soft West Coast team. That's simply put. Like you put them in that environment, cold, wet, Iowa defensive at home. Like it's just a tough spot. They always struggle in those scenarios, and they're a spread it out. Cool. Like put them on warm weather, they win that game by 20.
Interesting. UConn defeats Duke 37-34. UConn football is 7-3, 5-0 at home. Right there with us for the independent championship. Notre Dame versus UConn independent championship coming up in December. Guys, North Carolina's won 3 in a row. They beat Stanford 20-15. Looking at Clemson beats Florida State 24-10, and you got to think, Dylan, Norvell's time in Tallahassee has to be coming to an end very soon because this is just a very poor football team. Very poor football they've been playing the last couple of years.
He's done after the year. Watch. I know he's been a bad year. Watch for Prime. Prime to Florida State.
Reunion?
And, crazy that Clemson decided to rush the field after that win.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I know their students every game they gather on the field. That is a tradition they have. I didn't know they stormed the field. Wow, that's bad. Hey, Kentucky rolled Florida. Kentucky rolled Florida 38-7.
Lagway, a 5-star transfer, or is benched now.
Yeah.
Interim?
LSU's quarterback benched.
That's Meyer.
Man, Nebraska beats UCLA 28-21. Congratulations to Nebraska. They get a nice little feel-good win. All right, folks, that does it for us today for football. Don't miss Wednesday's episode. I think everybody on the show knows my feelings on Pittsburgh and Pat Narduzzi. It's going to be an absolute doozy of a show on Wednesday. Hopefully we got a full crew because it's personal for me. It's going to be a big game. Pitt's coming. It's going to be a test. College game day is on its way. Pitt's playing good football. They got a chance to knock off Notre Dame. It's going to be a damn good show on Wednesday. Be sure to subscribe and like. We got basketball coming up and football as well. Until then, go Irish.